Hey everybody, this week's Torah portion is Parsha Yitro, and in the beginning of this Parsha, the Torah tells us about Moshe's two sons. The name of the first one was Gershom, which means exiled, and the name of the second was Eliezer, which means God saved me. Now, why did he give his kids those names? So, he gave his child the first name Exile to remind himself and his children that he was in exile. He had left Egypt at the age of approximately 20, and he had his child after that, and he was always trying to remind himself and his children that this is not where we belong. We do not belong in Midian or in Cush or any other place where he landed. We belong with our fellow Jews. And the name of his second child, he named Eliezer, which means God saved me, because it was actually a miraculous feat for him to have gotten out of Egypt. He was actually being pursued by the police, and it was a miracle God caused to happen that allowed him to end up escaping Egypt. So he wanted to say thank you to God, so he said God saved me as an eternal reminder that he recognizes the fact that God saved him, and that's how he got out of Egypt. Now what's weird is that really he should have reversed the order of the names, because chronologically he was first saved miraculously. That's what allowed him to escape Egypt. Only then did he find himself in exile. So why didn't he name his first son God saved me and his second son exiled? He did the reverse, named his first son after the second event, exiled, and only then thanked God for letting him get out of Egypt. Why did he reverse the order? Why not name them after the chronology of what really happened? And to understand that, I want to tell you a story that happened not so long ago, well, relatively. About 80 years ago, there was a very great rabbi named Rabbi Dessler. Rabbi Eliyahu Dessler wrote a very famous Jewish book called Michtav Me'Eliyahu in Hebrew, or Strive for Truth in English. And he had a student who was once taking leave of him after spending many years in yeshiva with him, and he decided to accompany his student to the train station to see him off. And as he's about to leave, as his student is about to leave, his student says to him, realizing this could be the last time he sees his rabbi ever again, he says, "Rebbe, please give me a blessing to help me through life." So Rabbi Dessler holds him by the hands, closes his eyes, and says to him, "My son, may God help you that you should get a very comfortable, relaxing seat on this train ride." And then he opens his eyes. And the student was very taken aback, because he was hoping for something a little more permanent than a comfortable train ride. So he says to his Rabbi Dessler, "Please, I was hoping when I asked for a blessing for something a little more longer lasting than really what kind of seat I'm going to get on the train. How about a happy marriage, wonderful children, a life of doing the right thing? There's more to life than a comfortable train ride." And his rabbi said, "You're right. You're 100% right. And that's why I said what I said, because I want you to remember, whenever you think of the last time we met, that there's more to life than a comfortable seat." And many people forget that, and they start focusing on the next 30 years when there's an entire eternity ahead of them, and they get caught up in the now and not worrying about what they're going to be like eternally. And that's really what Moses was doing when he named his children in reverse chronological order, meaning as follows. Saying thank you to God for saving him was only retroactively worth a thank you once Moses realized that he was able to keep to his beliefs in exile. It's only after he named his first child exiled and realized that he was able to stick to his beliefs and remember the fact that he is not where he needs to be and not where he's supposed to be with his fellow Jews, only after that did he say, "Now I can thank God for saving me." Because had God saved me and I ended up walking into Cush, Midian, or any other city that I went to and completely assimilating, then there's nothing great about living like that. There's no point to life if it's a meaningless life. And it's only retroactively when he realized that he was able to retain his identity as a Jew and realize that he's still in exile, did he then say, "Now I can thank God for taking me out of Egypt, because now I see that even after he took me out, I was able to retain my Jewish heritage." On behalf of Makar, have a Shabbat Shalom.